built the barn on this one.
They're getting hot at the right time.
They always will be, little bro.
I'm calling that a touchdown too.
All right, guys, welcome back. It is Sunday. We got a recap here, football here. We're going to talk basketball, but we're going to start with football here. So just a couple games we're going to go over before we dive into our heavy hitter games. Purdue took care of Indiana took care of business against Purdue there, 56-3. Georgia, kind of a sneaky game there against Georgia Tech. You get the win, 16-9. I feel like a lot of people expected that to be more of a better win, but came out with a win, so you're fine there. They're going to be in the
I was
SEC.
hoping for the 6 what was it last year? 8 overtime game?
Yeah, it was 8. That game was wild. Yeah.
That game was awesome.
That was a wild one, but Georgia's in the SEC championship, so congrats to them. Ole Miss handled Mississippi State there in the Egg Bowl, 38-19. Shep, did you happen to see what happened with the Egg Bowl there with the Mississippi State students? They broke into Ole Miss's locker room.
Oh, yeah, I took the quarterback's jersey.
They took his jersey.
That's awesome.
That's what Rival Week's all about right there. You got to love it. You got Utah handling Kansas there, 31-21. Arizona goes into Arizona State and gets a win, 23-7. That's a pretty big dominant win for Arizona there.
That's impressive. I was watching that game.
Yeah. Texas Tech, easy win against West Virginia, 49-0. This Oregon-Washington game, this was a really fun game to watch. Oregon, they're slowly turning into a very, very good-looking team, I think. They look very dominant right now. Washington, that's one of the toughest places to play, and they walked in there, and they handled business pretty well there. I mean, 26-14 win there, that's impressive. I think that's really impressive for Oregon. And they're starting to hit that stride right at the right moment here. Playoffs is right around the corner. Oklahoma beats LSU 17-13. Notre Dame versus Stanford, that's 49-20. BYU had a little bit of a slow start against UCF there, but they come out 41-21 win there. Miami absolutely just blew the doors off of Pitt, 38-7. Vanderbilt comes home with a big win against Tennessee, 45-24. Yeah, you kind of just got to tip your hat to Diego Pavia. I mean, love him, hate him. He earned everybody's respect. I mean, all the stuff that he talked, he backed it up. So great career for him. Great story. I'm glad that he's out of eligibility, though. But congrats to Pavia.
Does Vanderbilt own Tennessee now? Is Vanderbilt the school in Tennessee?
I think they won the state, so technically I'd say that.
Technically they are, yeah.
You got to think, if you're going to Tennessee, you're going to Nashville anyways. Vanderbilt's in Nashville.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
But USC, they beat UCLA 29-10 there. Virginia took care of Virginia Tech 27-7. Big upset here. Cal took down SMU there 38-35. And then Tulane, of course, 27-0 against Charlotte there. But let's go ahead. Let's get into our heavy hitter games. We'll start out. We're going to do Texas A&M and Texas here. So Texas, they get the win here, 27-17. This really makes things really interesting here for the playoffs with Texas winning this game. Texas A&M, they could not get it going. And Texas is I'll give Texas credit. Every time that it seems like they are, pretty outmatched here, they just make the game ugly. And they're one of those teams that if you let them, make the game ugly, have control of the game, it's going to be a really, really hard win for you. Let's look at I want to see what the time of possession is actually on this.
Shout out Arch Manning.
Yeah, Arch Manning had a great game.
Arch Manning.
I mean, A&M, they had time of possession 32 to Texas 27, but A&M lost the turnover battle here, 2-0. They both went even on money down there. I can't believe Texas won this game. A 9-3 Texas is knocking on the door of the playoffs, which is absolutely insane. This was a really rough game for Marcel Reed. He went 20-32, 180 through the air, threw 2 picks. I think we can wrap up his Heisman race. He's going to be out of it. A&M, they rushed the ball altogether, 157 yards. But, when you're playing from behind, you that point, it doesn't really matter. It's a tough look for A&M. I think this is twice
They were
now.
due for one. They were due for one.
Yeah, they came back and won that game against South Carolina, where they looked rough there, and then this game it looked pretty rough too. And you can't. I think I said that after the South Carolina game is that you can't have another game like this because you won't win it. You won't win it against a team that has a top 10 defense in Texas. You won't win that game. But you gotta give the flowers to Texas. They're playing winnable football right now. I guess you could say. Are they a playoff team at 9-3? I don't know. I don't know what the committee is going to do. I have no idea. But like we said in our preview, if there's a 3-loss team to make it, it will be Texas.
I agree.
Will be Texas. But box score for Texas, I mean, it's not impressive. I mean, you got at least Wisner. He rushed for 155 yards. He averaged 8 yards a carry. I'll give him that. That's impressive there off 19 carries. Arch, pretty good game. Nothing crazy though. 179 and a touchdown. This was a good one for Texas. Good one for Texas. You had them at home, so that always helps too. Texas A&M, they're out of the SEC championship now. SEC championship's going to be Bama, Georgia, so that'll be. I think A&M is. I think they've dropped to 7 or 8 in the AP poll. We'll see where the committee puts them at. They'll probably be the same as the AP poll. But Shep, anything you want to add before we move on to Ohio State, Michigan?
No, you hit it. I mean, Texas defense kind of won them that game. I
Yeah,
think it was just they're getting hot at the right time, so
they are.
they're definitely making talk. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what the committee does.
yep, they are. It was just ugly game from A&M. They could have won that, should have won it. It happens, it happens. But I guess bright side for A&M. I mean, you missed the SC championship, of course, but you're going to host a playoff game. I mean,
Yeah,
so it's not that big of a loss, which
no,
I think that is so dumb. That's so dumb.
yeah,
It's
we
so
don't use the
dumb.
R word, but that is very dumb.
Yeah, but we'll move on here to Ohio State, Michigan. Let me get the box score pulled up. You got 27-9. I watched the game, of
I
course.
guess that's
Everybody watched
Oregon.
the game. It was snowing there. Weather did play a factor. Julian Sayin, 19-26, 233 with 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Man, when he threw that first pick, I'm like, oh boy, it
The
might.
first 4 minutes, I thought it was another Michigan win,
Yeah,
and then
but in Michigan, they threw all of their punches in that first quarter, all of
first
them.
four, yep,
I think I texted Bowman in the second quarter. I think I told him like, yeah, Michigan definitely threw all their punches in that first quarter.
yep,
But great win for Ohio State. I mean, I think it was 4 years in a row.
4 years.
I will
Snap the
say
4 years.
that was a great 4 years of peace without seeing all these Ohio State
It was.
fans post on their story. That 4 years, I really took it for granted. I mean, it was quite literally, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was. I think it could qualify as world peace. I think it could. But Carnell Tate, he had a solid game. 5 catches, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. He looked good. I think this was his first game back. He looked good. Jeremiah Smith, he caught a touchdown. Only had 3 catches, 40 yards, but he caught a touchdown. But I mean, that's to be expected. Michigan's going to pretty much bracket him for the game there. Although they did give some one-on-one matchups at Ohio State. I feel like they could have taken better advantage of, but it's almost that just the Ohio State offense is just it's pretty dominant.
Elite.
It's
And their
dominant.
defense.
Yep. You got Bo
And their defense.
Jackson that the fountain of youth continues to do him well. 22 carries for 117 yards, averaged 5.3 yards a carry. If your starting running back is averaging 5.3 yards a carry in the
You're
snow,
not losing the game.
you're probably not going to lose the game. And then you tack that on with an Ohio State defense that just they quite literally do not care who they're playing. They do not care. It's a faceless opponent for them. Faceless opponent. They are the most elite squad. They're the most elite group in college football. I'll say that. I don't think there's an elite offense that's better than them. There's not another defense that's better than them. They're the most elite group in the country. Credit them. What they have running around on that defense, It's not fair at all. It's not fair.
No.
Michigan, they didn't have a shot. Michigan, what they just need to do is their AD needs to sit Sharon Moore down and be like, look, we like you here. I think he's a good fit for Michigan. I think he recruits well for them. I think he fits that culture well, but he needs to give up play calling. That AD needs to sit him down and be like, look, you need to bring an offense coordinator in to run this offense because Bryce Underwood has the potential to be a generational talent. And if you disagree, you are blind and go argue with a wall. Go argue with a wall. Jordan Marshall, he had a solid game to start out. I mean, he averaged, I think he had 7 carries. Yeah, he had 7 carries, 61 yards, averaged 8.7 yards a carry. I'm pretty sure he got banged up and was out before halftime because they're Bryson Cusdell. He went in there, 11 carries, 38 yards. It's just Michigan just didn't have the firepower for this game. Didn't have the firepower for it. I think if Jordan Marshall doesn't go out, I think this game is a little bit more interesting. But the defense for Michigan, they just couldn't keep up here. Did you see that controversial touchdown Jeremiah Smith had?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of heat on it. Or Chad, of course, does not think it's a touchdown. I don't know what the rules are exactly, but in that moment, I'm calling that a touchdown too. But
After reviewing it, you're still calling that a touchdown? He lost
I'm just
possession.
saying in that moment, like I'm watching that and I'm one of the refs, I'm probably calling it a touchdown. But now that I'm looking back and I can watch it like 80 times, I don't think that was a touchdown.
It quite literally wasn't even close to be.
Hmm.
There's no part of that where that's a touchdown in the rule book.
Yeah.
You lose possession, and when you regain possession, your foot's out of bounds. It should have been a touchback for Michigan. I say that, they got gifted that touchdown. I don't think it would have mattered if it wasn't a touchdown. I still think Ohio
No.
State is beating Michigan here. I'll be honest, I think this was a pretty snooze fest game. I feel like
In the second half, it was.
It was inevitable. This was going to happen. I mean, Michigan went 1 for 9 on third down. It's the Michigan offense. Ever since McCarthy left, it's been a dull thing to watch. Pretty dull, but great win for Ohio State. You beat your rival. You're going to play Indiana in the Big Ten championship, and I think you probably cover that spread too for them. I've been high on Ohio State all year. They've been number one for me. They've done nothing to drop. This is a good win for them. It's a good matchup.
Yeah.
We've seen what they look like against a good defense, and they look the same still. That's not the best defense, of course. You're going to play better defenses in the playoffs, but
Ohio State. Bright side for Michigan is that they're super young.
Yeah,
they're super young.
They're super young, but I'm telling you right now, what's going to hold that development back on the offense is if Sharon Moore doesn't get a play caller. That will all be wasted, and a couple of those guys will transfer out if Sharon Moore continues to call plays for them. But credit to Ohio State here. Shep, anything to add?
Yeah. I think that puts Sayin as the undisputed MVP. I think we talked about it last podcast. I think this was his make it or break it game for MVP. Or Heisman.
The stat line, I'm going to disagree. I mean, Ohio State won this game because Bo Jackson averaged 5.3 yards a carry, and the defense just completely dominated the game. I mean, saying 233, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, it's a great game still. That's impressive. But
that's great.
That's not locking up the Heisman. If anything,
I think it is after after what happened with A&M in Texas. I think that kind of.
Well, you still got Mendoza from Indiana.
That's true.
The Heisman, if I were to guess, the Heisman will be settled between Mendoza and Sayin in the Big Ten championship there. Whoever wins it, outduels, they'll win the Heisman. And I think that's deserving. Although I think Jeremiah Love should be up there also, but Notre Dame is an independent team, so they don't play a conference game. So we'll see what happens with it, though. But I would still put Mendoza at 1 right now. Mendoza at 1, Love at 2. We'll put Sayin at 3, and I don't care who you put it for. It doesn't matter. But let's move on to the Iron Bowl. The best rivalry in college football.
That's not true at all.
It 100% is true.
It's not true at all.
It is true. Bama got the win here, 27-20. This is a close game as always. It doesn't matter who's ranked, who's not ranked, what the record is for each team. This will always be a close game. I can guarantee it. Stat wise here, Ty Simpson 19 of 35, 122 and 3 touchdowns. Bama ran the ball well this game. They did. Jam Miller, took the lead, 15 carries, 83 yards. Daniel Hill came in for 11 carries, 39 yards. Jam Miller, he went out. I want to say he went out in the third quarter. He was on crutches, so we'll keep an update with him on how he's going to look for the SEC championship. But I was impressed with the run game for Bama. I mean, total yards. I know it's only 158 yards, but if you actually have watched Bama this year, this was actually fun and impressive to watch them actually average more than 2.5 yards a carry. They averaged 4.2. So that's kind of even. That's rough saying that still, but they're moving in the right direction. Shout out Isaiah Horton, 5 catches, 35 yards, and had 3 touchdowns this game. He looked amazing. The Alabama defense continues to just be the bright spot of this entire team. I would say this is probably 5 weeks in a row now that they've won all of these games for Bama. And it's pretty frustrating with how much talent Alabama has on the offense that the defense is always out there on the field, because you're not going to win a national championship, and you're probably not going to win a playoff game being very one-dimensional and one-sided like that. The offense needs to figure something out. You get a win, though, so good for them. I thought Auburn played a really good game. Ashton Daniels, 18 of 39, 259 in the air, touchdown, and a pick. The pick was not his fault. The running back can't catch a football and bounced off his helmet. There was a lot of drops for Auburn too. A lot of drops. Auburn could have easily won this game if they didn't have as many drops as they did. Malcolm Simmons, 3 catches, 143 yards and a touchdown. Cam Coleman, 5 catches, 43 yards. He was a little banged up. And then Singleton, 3 catches, 26 yards. He had a couple drops that were pretty crucial for them. But Bama won this game, of course, because Auburn. Let's see, let me get it. Auburn had, 2 turnovers. So not going to win a game if you lose a turnover battle. Really not going to happen. I mean, they outgained Bama 411 yards to Bama's 280. They were 8 of 19 on third down. Bama was 417. But Bama went 3 for 3 on fourth down. And at the end of the game game on the line, I think it's 4th and 2. And probably on the 5-yard line or something like that, and Bama goes for it instead of kicking the field goal to go up, and they just score a touchdown. But you're betting on your guys, so I get it, I understand it, but I think the decision making needs to get a little bit better. There's a lot of times this year on offense where you get way too cute. We had a great touchdown drive, and then the next series, our first play is a flea flicker trick play. And we have all the momentum. I think it's 17-3 in the game, and that's our first play on offense is a flea flicker. What are we doing? Well, that makes no sense to me at all. There's no need to run a trick play against Auburn. Just line up and kick their
I like
ass.
it. I like it.
No, line up and kick their ass. It's simple. It's the Iron Bowl. It's very simple. Shout out Connor Talty. He's been getting a lot of heat this year. It's been deserving, but he's gotten a lot of heat. He went 2 for 2 on field goals, went perfect on extra points, long of 45. Shout out him. He had a good game. And then Bray Hubbard. Bray Hubbard is one of the best defense players in the country. He's always in the clutch moments. He forced that late fumble there against Cam Coleman to seal the game for Bama there. So shout out him. As a Bama fan, I'm happy we won the Iron Bowl, but I'm still not thrilled what I've been seeing execution-wise on the field. But we are in the conference championship. We're going to play Georgia. We'll see what happens. I still think even if Alabama loses that conference championship, I think they'll still be in the playoffs. They should be. If they're not, it's going to cause a riot, big riot. I'll probably crash out if that's the case. But I think this was a great rivalry week. I think it was amazing. Shep,
Great week of college football. Great week.
Great week. Trying to see if there's anything I want to add on the Iron Bowl. I think this is 6 in a row for Bama. 6 in a row. So the Barn, they're little bro. Been little bro. They always will be little bro.
Little bro.
Okay. But let's move on here. Let's recap our locks only and war room. Locks only for me was Ole Miss -7 that hit, and then Ohio State -10 that also hit. I think what was the score of?
It did hit. It was you pulling it up.
27-9. Yeah, that hit.
Mm.
Shep, did you have any locks only that hit for football or basketball or anything?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay.
Don't think so. I have to go back and look.
Hey, War Room though. Your boy
There we go.
went perfect over here. We got 2 points. We had Missouri -2.5, and we had Illinois -6.5. So there's 2 points for us. Shep had A&M -2.5, did not hit, but he had Vanderbilt. So he gets 1 point. Okay. So, I think you were 3-zip. So now,
Yeah, 3
okay.
zips.
So 4-2. It's 4-2 now. The comeback's real. We still got momentum. I think what we'll do with the War Room, I think we'll just keep that same score and just go right into basketball season with it.
All right. We'll let the viewers decide who should
Yeah.
restart from March, because March is very important to us.
Yeah, that is true. We could. But there's a recap of those two. Let's talk about the AP poll real quick here, because once again, it's horrendous. It is horrendous. Let's check this out. So last week, Vanderbilt was 12th and Miami was 13th. Both of those guys won. They won this week. Okay. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee easily, and then Miami beat Pitt easily. Why this week? Why? How did Miami jump Vanderbilt? How does those two flip spots there when they both won and they both handled their game easily? That does not make sense.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I have no idea what. And the thing is, they don't come out with any reasoning for what they've ever done. Nobody ever does it. It's got to just be because Miami's got that head-to-head over Notre Dame. But at the same time, the committee has already proven that they're probably not going to value that. Probably not. But that's the only thing I have to complain about that. I mean, Texas, they're up to 14 now in the AP poll. Like I said, the actual playoff rankings, those won't come out till Tuesday night, but they've almost just copy and pasted whatever the AP poll has done. So I'm sure it'll look pretty identical to this, but it's all trash. It's all garbage. College football, it needs very big change, very very big change, because it's pretty rough. But that's the AP poll. I mean, everything else is Texas A&M they dropped down to 7, but like Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, those are all in the same spot. Ole Miss is 6, and then Texas Tech 5, Oregon 4, Georgia 3, Indiana 2, Ohio State 1. So nothing crazy at all. We still don't. It's looking like it's going to be James Madison. That's going to get the Group of 5 bid. We'll see what happens, of course, because the committee.
They had a pretty impressive one. I think they won by like 50.
So. Yeah, they beat Coastal there, 59-10 there. We'll see what happens with it. I mean, we have no idea what's going to happen, because the coaching carousel update just blew up today. It quite literally blew up. So Kiffin, the plane got him. He's in Baton Rouge. Picked him up. We'll talk a little bit more about him soon here. So you got him going to LSU. John Summerall is going to Florida. It looked like he was going to Auburn, but some drama happened there. So he's going to Florida. I think the drama, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but one of the football podcasts I listen to, Crane and Company, those are 2 Auburn guys, and they were saying that Auburn told Summerall that they were going to, they first told him that he can interview DJ Durkin and that they want DJ Durkin on staff, who's the DC this year, and then he's the interim head coach. Auburn wants to retain him, but Summerall told them, well, I'll interview him and we'll see how it goes, which is fair. That's completely fair. Nothing wrong about that. That happened, and then Auburn went behind Summerall's back and started going into conversations about extending DJ Durkin just as a staffer, like a defensive coordinator. And you can't do that when you're literally having a head coaching search. So Summerall basically he dropped out of that because you're starting off on a bad foot, and I respect that. So he's going to Florida. I think that's a good hire for Florida. I know it's not their first option there, and I know the Florida fan base after they took Billy Napier from a Group of 5 school, they're kind of not wanting to do that, but I think they should just be open minded with Summerall. He's a good coach. I mean, he's a defensive minded coach. He's always had a good offensive staff. The thing about it, and I'll just say this now, with all these coaching hires, is don't judge it right now. Wait, of course, until the on the field stuff happens. But you also need to wait here and see like who these guys bring on staff. I mean, are they bringing guys from before? Are they hiring all new? Because the head coach isn't what makes the team. All right, it's the staff that he brings in is what makes the team. So just wait to see that. But he's going there, and then Alex Golish, who was USF, he's going to Auburn now. So he took up the Auburn job. That was a weird one too. It looked like that DJ Durkin was actually going to get that job, but Alex Golish, he comes in, sweeps that up, and then the Memphis head coach, who I am blanking on the name, I just had it. He's going to Arkansas. It was reported that Alex Golish was going to go to Arkansas, and then that fell out. Silverfield is the name. So Memphis' head coach Silverfield, he's going to Arkansas now. So Summerall, Florida, Golish, Auburn, and then Silverfield is Arkansas. I think all those 3 hires, I think they're pretty good hires. I know supposedly the Arkansas fan base is at the airport rioting and protesting against the Silverfield hire. I have no idea because Silverfield literally beat Arkansas this year. Memphis beat Arkansas. Why would you not be happy about that? But we'll see what happens with all of it. Like I said, it depends on who they bring with them. But the Lane Kiffin drama, let's just get it over and done with. I said earlier that I thought Lane Kiffin was different and that, he was really matured up this year. But I was wrong. Lane Kiffin is, I feel like this is really offensive and disrespectful to say, but he's kind of like a high school teenage girl. There always has to be drama involved. He can't leave on good terms anywhere. If you look at his entire career, he's not left one job on good terms. There's always been drama. They quite literally threw his clothes out in the street in Ole Miss. Quite literally did that. It's a very ugly leave. This might be his ugliest leave. I don't know. He's had some real ugly ones, but he's gone. And I'll just say the people that are upset about him telling his staff, you can come with me or not. If you're not on the plane, I can't guarantee you have a job. There's a lot of coaches that do that. That's nothing new at all. So don't be pissed off about that. But he's at LSU. I think that's like 7 years, maybe 90 mil or something. But I'll say this. I think Florida did the right thing pulling out of that Kiffin drama because this is just a proven track record of Kiffin does not care about you. He does not care. I mean, he multiple times said that he loved Ole Miss, so thankful for Ole Miss. He wants to be at Ole Miss, and then he's out the door. So LSU, I think it's a good hire. Kiffin's never won the SEC championship. He's never made a playoff run as a head coach, and he's never won a national championship. But he's got a great offense. Okay, we'll see what happens with it. I hate LSU, so I hope it goes wrong for them. But I would feel bad if it went. I would feel bad if it went bad and that turns into another buyout situation because that's going to be an even bigger buyout and that's going to get real ugly there. But congrats to all those guys getting new jobs. It's all deserving. Couple other guys, Pat Fitzgerald, he's going to Michigan State. If you guys didn't know, he was a Northwestern head coach. He got fired for a hazing incident that happened in the locker room. So he's been out of coaching for, I want to say maybe 2-3 years, but he's back at Michigan State. I think that's a great hire for Michigan State. He's a great coach. He was the reason that Northwestern was even relevant in the Big Ten. He had Northwestern in the Big Ten championship. Of course, they got killed by Ohio State. I think it was 2 years or 3 years. But he had Northwestern relevant in college football. Jamarcus Shepard, who is the wide receiver and co-offensive coordinator at Alabama, he took the head coaching job at Oregon State. I think that's a pretty solid hire. He's a good coach. I know he's a no-name for as of right now, but I think he'll make some noise. He's a good culture guy. And then Oregon State snatched up I mean, not Oregon State, Oklahoma State. They snatched up the North Texas head coach. Let me get his name up real quick.
That's a great hire because North Texas has been killing it.
Oh yeah, that I think that might be one of the best hires actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
and that's a good job too. That's a great job. Eric Morris. So he's at Oklahoma State. This was a fun coaching carousel. I think this was great. I think this was the most drama-filled one that it's ever been in a while. But we'll see how it goes with all of them. It's too hard. I mean, it's too early to say. So I'm sure someone will get fired after a year or two, and maybe someone will make some noise. But Shep, anything to add?
I think I hate Kiffin as much as I hate Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly will always be my number one, but I think it goes 1 and 2.
Yeah, Kiffin's really he's not a likable guy, I'll say, for a lot of people. I like Kiffin.
I hope he does well. I think LSU needs to go back to how LSU was. I think Lane has the best potential to do that, but we'll see how that goes.
I just think I think the dollar signs might have finally got to him there, because I mean he had everything he
Can't blame
wanted.
him.
He had everything he wanted at Ole Miss, though. That's the thing. And
Money talks.
people want to talk about recruiting like you're wrong. He recruited well at Ole Miss. I mean,
Yeah,
he literally had. I know one year he had the #1 transfer portal class, and that's just transfers. I mean, he was still recruiting the high school level. But with college football, now you can just write a paycheck to get a player. I get it. I mean, LSU's got money, so I guess I understand it. But I think it's ethically a little weird. But it is what it is. It's college football now. But the people that are mad about the Kiffin situation, you can be mad at Kiffin for the immaturity of it and the drama side of it, but you also need to blame the system. Like the calendar year, the fact that football still follows the academic calendar, that's what screws all this up. Okay. I mean, you can't blame the universities, because the universities, they got to get a coach in before transfer portal opens. You got NIL now. You need a team. You can't wait really till the offseason. You need to get a guy in there. You at least need him announced. And then Kiffin, the fact that I understand Ole Miss not letting him finish the year out, I really do, but I also get Kiffin's point. Like it sucks all around. I blame the system. I would say blame the system. But anything to add before we move on to basketball?
I'm good.
All right, trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to add. All right, Shep, take it away.
All right. First of all, my partner didn't mention this, but I hope everyone had a great holiday, great family time. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, great holidays. So, shout
That's
out
why we have him
Thanksgiving.
on the show. That's why we have him on the show. He's got my back.
Yep,
Ball knowledge
yep,
right there.
ball knowledge. But yeah, we're going to talk about where we talked about last Tuesday. So we talked before the Players Era tournament. I think it was the semis. We'll talk about Tennessee, Houston, then Auburn and Michigan. I first want to shout out Chad. I did say that Michigan was a shaky team. Then after watching them this past week, Michigan is the best team in college basketball right
Oh
now.
my
I will
gosh, no,
say
they're
that.
not.
I will say that with my full heart. We'll first talk about Tennessee, Houston. Shout out Tennessee. Tennessee's a great ball club. After watching Houston, they played Houston's game to a T, and they just played it better. They made more shots, and they played better defense. Houston, in that game, a lot of turnovers. I love Kingston Flemings as a freshman guard. He makes fresh mistakes, I think, a little bit too much. I'm pretty sure he's averaging at least 2 or 3 turnovers, which you can't do with a team like that. He had 25 points that game against Tennessee. He looked good. He just made some dumb freshman mistakes. I think that cost him the game. Shout out Nate Emmett, though, the Tennessee's freshman center. I think he was in foul trouble, but he had a very great game against Houston. And then Gillespie, which was their leading scorer, 22 points in that game. He was fun to watch. But yeah, Tennessee wasn't on my radar. And then after watching that game against Houston, I think Tennessee's a great ball club, even though they ended up losing 2 days later to, I forget who it was. But shout out Tennessee. And then Tuesday, Michigan also beat Auburn 102-72. Lindenborg, their transfer from USF, I believe, he's playing outstanding at that. Just the Michigan squad in general is, after this week, they're proving the doubters, which was me, wrong. So Other than that, there's the two games on Tuesday that we talked about. Let's go into Wednesday. Wednesday's big one was obviously Michigan Gonzaga. This was for the Players Era Championship. I think it was $1 million was the award,
Yeah.
but they beat Gonzaga 101-61. Just dominant. Just looked elite. Everybody on the team played well. Lindenberg was the player of the game, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals. Coming in, Gonzaga was looking like a great team, and just watching that game, I can't blame Gonzaga. I think Michigan just played a perfect game. So, did you end up watching that one at all?
Nah. Nope.
Yeah.
I did not. But shout out Michigan.
Shout out Michigan. I hate to say it, but
Long year though. Long,
it's a
long
long
year.
year. Exactly.
Long year.
Long year. Tyron Grant Foster had 14 points, the seventh-year senior. We already know our thoughts on him. He's probably the player for Gonzaga. But we'll stop talking about that. Then also Auburn beating St. John's was another one that happened on Wednesday. That was a big shock in my book. I didn't think Auburn was going to compete in that game. But Pettiford had 27 points. He looked legit. I mean, that backcourt is elite. If they both go off, I think Auburn can beat anybody in the country. I think it's on fraud watch for St. John's, though. I don't know what's going on with Patino in that squad. I'm pretty sure they're 4-3 now, maybe 5-3 throughout the week. But
I'm telling you, they got
I
nothing
just,
outside of Okafor there.
I know. And Okafor in that game had 24 points and 6 rebounds. He's doing everything he can to keep the St. John's squad rolling. But I think the shooting and just behind the three-point arc is what's going to kill him this year. I just,
7 of
that makes me upset.
25. 7 of 25 from the 3-point line there.
Makes me upset.
Yeah.
Also, that Wednesday was Kansas and Tennessee. Tennessee ended up losing to. Kansas, that's a good win for Kansas, even without the star freshman. So I think that was for like second place or third place for the Players Era tournament. But that's pretty much a summary for Wednesday. We will get into Thursday's game. I know we talked about Duke and Arkansas on that last Tuesday podcast. I thought Duke was going to blow them out, but it was a closer game than I thought. Duke still ended up winning by 9 points. Shout out Cam Boozer, though. 35 points and 9 rebounds. As a freshman playing for Duke, that's an elite stat line. He's pretty much the reason they won that game. Arkansas played well. I mean, they had 71 points. Acuff had 21. The freshman duo looked good. I just think Duke when you have a player drop 35 points and 9 rebounds, you're not going to beat them. It's just one of those games. But shout out Duke, staying at number 4 in the country. I think they'll probably stay like that all year. Another good one was obviously the TCU in Florida. This was not on my radar at all. I ended up watching the final 2 minutes of it because it was so close. Florida ended up losing 84-80 to TCU. My thoughts on this one is I think this was just a bad game for Florida and the game of TCU's life. So if I'm Florida, I'm not worried. I'm kind of right in that middle bubble on overrated and not. I think they still got a lot of games left. I think they're starting to figure out that backcourt situation with Lee and Fland, but I think this was just one of TCU's game of their lives. Yeah, Luke, what do you think about the TCU Florida game?
Great win for TCU. I don't think it's that big of a loss for Florida. You got a lot of the year left, but I know we said it, a couple weeks ago that I think it's definitely going to be a situation where Florida not having Walter Clayton, a dude that can just go out there and get you the bucket when you need it. They don't have that. He's gone. He's in the NBA, and that's very apparent that they are missing that because that's what that team was last year. When they needed
Yeah,
it, it was give the ball to Walter Clayton, get out of the way. They don't have that this year. They don't. They got talent still with Flan and Lee, but those two, they're still, they're getting their feet wet. They're trying to get used
exactly.
to it. We'll see what happens. Florida will be fine, I'm sure. So not too worried about them. But
Yeah, I think this was just TCU's coming out game. I think this is one of the very few games they'll play like that. I mean, shout out Harding, having 19 points, 12 assists, 5 steals. He's the player of the game. But Florida's front court's what keeps them alive. Klazar, I think that's how you say his name, had 20 points. Good front court, but yeah, I think Florida's on the watch list, but I think they'll be fine coming March. I think this is good to get the losses out early. But other than that, one of the game I did watch was Michigan State, North Carolina. My boy Izzo is looking fantastic. I know earlier in the year we talked about the shooting. I talked about them and St. John's. I think if they find their shooting, I think they're great teams. Michigan State is finding that. I think, in my opinion, I think Jeremy Fears, however you want to say it, is one of the best guards in the country. 19.7 assists. I'm almost positive he's averaging like 7 or 8 assists a game. Kid's fun to watch. He's a true floor general. 6'2" guard. Just plays hard. I mean, in this game, Michigan State just shot well. I think if they shoot well and they hold, I mean, they held North Carolina to 58 points. They ended up winning 74-58. I think they do that every game. I don't think Michigan State loses the game all year.
Yeah.
Um,
They only
but yeah,
attempted 10 3-pointers. I mean, they went 5 of 10. If you can win a dominant game like that and only have to shoot 10 3-pointers, you're doing something really elite on the inside there. So
yeah, I think Izzo's found his squad this year. I think they're defensive minded and they can play a little bit of offense. On North Carolina's end, it's a tough loss. I mean, those two blue bloods. I mean, it's an iconic game. Michigan State, North Carolina. It's one of the biggest rivalries in college basketball. Caleb Wilson had 18.7 rebounds. They need somebody else to help Caleb out. I know Seth Tribble went out with I think he broke his arm, which sucks in the weight room accident. I don't know when he comes back. Maybe March. I don't know how long the timeline is for that. But I mean, Caleb Wilson's one of the best freshman guys to watch in the country. He's fun to watch. I mean, he put up a battle with Michigan State. It's just you need more than one. You got to put a Cam Boozer kind of performance if you want to beat Michigan State. So that's my takeaway for.
Tell you, man, it ain't no Roy Williams, North Carolina, man. It's not even
Nope, not
close.
anymore. It's a completely different ball club.
It's been that way for a couple of years now. They're not threatening at all. Not a threat.
Yeah, they're not the North Carolina Tar Heels that you used to see them. So, but I think both teams are fine. I think it's just one of those matchups. But another game that I don't know if most people were watching, but Vanderbilt VCU. So another great game. Vanderbilt ended up winning 89-74. And I got to shout out Vanderbilt. They're 7-0. I think they're ranked 24th right now. They're a sneaky squad to watch. They're fun to watch. They score a lot of points. I haven't seen a Vanderbilt squad like this ever. I don't think Vanderbilt has ever had a fantastic basketball team, but they're a fun team to watch. I mean, Miles, one of their guards, at 20 points, 3 steals. They have an all-around good team. I know it is VCU, but VCU is always a tough squad. I think VCU is a great basketball organization. But shout out Vanderbilt. I think they're one of the more underrated teams in the country.
And to add on to Vanderbilt here, like Shep said, they beat a quality opponent there in VCU. The next day they beat St. Mary's. St. Mary's is always in March Madness. 96-71. The Miles kid, he had 25 points in this game.
Yep.
What are they feeding these athletes at Vanderbilt? Why?
Exactly.
This ain't baseball. This ain't baseball. This is basketball and
Vandy's
football.
on the come up.
And Vandy is here to stay. I'll tell you that. Here to stay.
Yep. Yeah, like Luke mentioned, that was to win the Battle of the Four Atlantic title. So shout out Vandy. Vandy's a good ball club. Going on Friday's games, sorry. Obviously the Vandy St. Mary's game, and then we had BYU Dayton, which was a sneaky good game. Shout out Richie Saunders. 29 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. I'm pretty sure the other freshman guard had 25 points or something like that. But Dayton's got a good ball club too. Put up a good fight against BYU. I think BYU just had more offensive power in that game. Just came out, just scored more points. But BYU's legit. It was a fun game to watch. Just a lot of points being scored.
Question for you. If you had the number one pick in the NBA draft right now, are you taking AJ or are you taking Boozer?
As of right now, depends what team I'm going for. You have to pick AJ. AJ is more versatile offensively. Boozer has a great offensive game, but AJ can literally do it all. So he can bring the ball up the court. I know Cam can too, but he doesn't have to in that Duke squad. AJ gets more of a just here's the ball, go do whatever you want for BYU.
He fits that NBA style a little better, maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of freshmen you can pick out of this year. I think it's just a great offensive freshman class. Mm-hmm. So another good game was UConn, Illinois. Sorry, Cohen. The Fighting Illinois, however you want to say it. ended up losing 61-74. UConn looked really good this game. You have Caravan, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's a pretty good player. I know Silas had another great game too. I think UConn just wanted more this game. Realistically, I don't think Illinois is ready. UConn just played UConn's game and won the game.
Yeah, I mean, my boy Stokovich went 1 for 7, hit 3 points.
Mhm.
They locked him up. Shout out Dan
UConn,
Hurley. The one game
UConn's
you
game.
didn't pick Dan Hurley. The one game.
I know. I know. We talked about it. I know. I'm bad with my picks, but I think this is fine for Illinois. I mean, obviously it's UConn. If you want to lose to any team, you want to lose to UConn. So I think Illinois is perfectly fine going in the future. It's a good one to get out of the way first. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that will sum up till Friday. Let's see if there's any good games on Saturday. There's no good games on Saturday. And then today, Texas Tech with a close win against Wyoming. I think my Raiders are in really big trouble. Hate saying that. I know I was high on them beginning of the season. I think just you need more to help JT Toppin. So it's sad for my Raiders. I hate to see them like that.
It's early. They'll be fine.
It's early. It's
They'll
early, like you said.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah,
We want to chat about UC?
No, I had a miserable week. It was awful. I even took TCU to win by 3.5 in football, and then our basketball squad. I'm not even going to talk about it. Not even going to talk about it. I think Wes Miller should be fired instantly. I don't know why he hasn't.
Is this the worst loss?
Worst loss? No. Does it hurt? Yeah, hurts a lot. I mean, I was watching that game, and I was on the verge of throwing up. We have no offensive presence at all.
Yeah.
God, it's making me mad even talking about it.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Well, I guess I'll add into it. I mean, Xavier beat West Virginia, so.
And that, I believe the Crosstown shootout is December 8th, if I'm not wrong. So.
Yeah, should be this week.
Yep. I'm very nervous for that game. Something we will talk about a little bit later. But any thoughts before I go into upcoming games?
No, I think yeah, I'm good. I mean, this has been a great start to basketball. I love all the early tournament matchups that we've gotten. I think
this week was great.
When I think who was it? I think old Rick Pitino said it. He said the game has never been in a better spot.
Yeah.
And I agree. Crosstown shootout is December 5th, Friday, by the way.
December 5th. Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, we'll just go ahead and talk about that for upcoming games then.
Okay.
Let's get that one out of the way. Obviously, this is the biggest game of my life. Being a huge UC fan, I literally hate Xavier. I don't know why Xavier's a school. If you don't have a football team, I don't think you should be a school.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They've had our number in the past, 7 years? I know we won last year, but I think they won last year. 5 game.
We lead the series, more Final Four appearances, more championships. We also
basketball school wise, we are a better basketball school. Period. You can't argue that UC is a better basketball school than Xavier. They've just had our numbers this recent years. Yeah. So, besides last year, it's a great game. Coming to this game, I literally have no clue. Xavier's coming off a good win. West Virginia's always a good win. They've won more games than they've lost, and then we've obviously lost to Louisville, and then the game, I don't even want to talk about that. I'm obviously going to pick UC here. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think if we find any offensive presence, we win that game easily. I'm not high hopes with Wes, but I obviously got to take UC in this. So take the under. I don't know what the under is. Take the under.
Yeah, take the under for sure. I'm going to go UC too. I hate Xavier. Absolutely hate him. Yep. They're not even going to be a university in the next 10 years, so it doesn't even matter.
I would love to see that happen.
Doesn't even matter. But this also feels like good old Wes Miller, just absolute dumpster fire of a coaching job coming. So
I kind of hope he loses this game, because I think if you lose this game, I think that's a certified yup, you're out. I think it's done. So
you think they fire him on the spot mid-year?
Not on the spot, because I think if you fire him, you also fire the AD. I think the AD, he hired. Yeah, I think he should be the first one to go. But take him. He won't get fired immediately, which just sucks, but it is what it is.
So have high hopes. Have high
I know,
hopes.
high hopes. I know. It needs
Xavier
to just
sucks this year. They're
oh, yep,
horrible.
you're right. You're right.
They're
You're right.
horrible.
Go Cats. But yeah, we'll talk about other games coming up then. Tuesday we got Iowa, Michigan State. I think it's gonna be a great game. Iowa with Sturts Bennett. I forget kid coming from. Oh, where did he come from?
Oh, I know who
Drake.
you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
Drake.
I
That
think it
Drake
was
dude.
Drake.
That dude's a
Yeah,
bucket, man.
he went with his dad. I think his dad got the coaching job, but that kid's legit.
That's Larry
It's
Bird.
fun to watch. He's fun to watch. The Iowa squad's fun to watch. They're 7-0. It's going to be a scary game for Izzo. I think this is going to be probably if Izzo does what Izzo does and plays defense and holds them to 58 points like did North Carolina, I think Michigan State wins pretty easily.
Yeah.
If Michigan State comes out and lets Bennett do what he does and just gets going and lets that offense flow, I think they will lose that game. I know that.
Yeah.
If you had to tell me who's going to win, the spread right now is -5.5 for MSU, Michigan State. Over is 135. I think for Iowa to win this game, the over has to hit, but I will take Michigan State. I think it will be in that 5.5 range. I think they only win by 2 or 3. So,
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm gonna go Michigan State. But I'm telling you right now, if you guys are listening to this, if you text your grandpa, dad, and
mhm.
tell him, hey, Larry Bird is reincarnated and
Watch Iowa basketball.
he plays for Iowa. I'm telling you right now, that dude is Larry Bird. So
Iowa's fun to watch. I do like Iowa.
yeah.
Bennett is the truth. Then other games coming on that day. Another great one is going to be Florida and Duke. It's going to be Florida
Ooh.
coming to Duke. Duke is 9.5 favorites in this. 155.5 is the over. Looking at this game right now, it's going to be at Cameron Indoor. I'm going to say right now, Duke's going to win this game, especially how Florida's playing. If Florida figures out their front court or their back court, and Lee and Fland go out and do what they're supposed to do, this is going to be a close game than people think. I think the 9.5 is scary, but I do think Duke wins this game. I don't think they blow them out of the waters, especially coming off big wins Duke recently. So
I'm gonna go. I'm going Florida in this game. That front court for Florida, that's their strong part with um, Uchili. I think that's how you name. You got Thomas Howell, and
mhm.
there's like two other guys running around there on the front court. I think they won this game because they just got multiple dudes that they can throw after Boozer. They got multiple matchups they can throw after him. I think Florida gets this win. This is part of that ACC SEC men's challenge.
Mhm.
There's probably a couple more games we'll talk about throughout this challenge, but I'm going with the Gators.
I like that. Yeah, I think this is going to be Cam's. It's going to be a great test for Cam. I think this is Florida probably has the best front court in college basketball, and I think if Cam comes out, does what Cam's been doing, I think this will solidify him as one of the best, as probably the best in the country freshman. So
Yeah.
excited to watch that game. I think that's probably going to be the game of the day if Florida plays right.
Yeah.
It's a big if. And then other games coming on, you got Purdue, Rutgers. Don't really care about that. Don't want to talk about Purdue. UConn's playing Kansas. I think UConn's going to win this game pretty easily. Kansas is just not the same Kansas without their star guard. So UConn's only 1.5 favorites in that though, which is kind of weird. I think they should be a little bit more. It is at Kansas, so I can see why they are kind of favoriting Kansas a little bit, but I think UConn handles business there.
Oh yeah, dude, Dan
And
Hurley's he's just watering out of the mouth, licking his chops at this game. Dude, he's gonna
I think
embarrass them.
that's my lock for locks only. That's a great 1.5. I would take that in a heartbeat. Actually, I'm loving that. And then the 9:30 game for that day is North Carolina, Kentucky. You got 16-19.
Battle of the Mid.
That's a great way to put it. It's a battle of the mid. Pope has really struggled this year. It just can't seem to find. He just looks confused all the time. So I don't.
He does.
He just looks literally confused all the time. I think North Carolina wins this game. UK is actually favorites in this, -8.5. I think this is just because it's at UK. I think another great pick here is North Carolina just straight up. I think North Carolina has got better offensive talent. They're more experienced. I can't believe that's 8.5. If Kentucky finds their offense, I think they are a good ball club. I just think Pope is kind of lost this year. I hope they find the mark. I hate seeing UK down. UK is one of the better, usually the better teams in the country, but this year is just off to a rough start for them.
Yeah, man, 8.5 is crazy. Is North Carolina missing some dudes?
I
Wonder
have
if they're
no clue.
missing a guy or something. But yeah, I'm just gonna roll with the home team here, Kentucky here. I think they'll get a win. I think this is gonna be an ugly game. Might bet the under if anything.
Yeah, I think that is going to be an ugly game. I would have to agree. And then we'll go on to, what is it, Wednesday, December 3rd. Got some good matchups here. We got Louisville and Arkansas. Louisville's obviously the best offensive team in the country. They're 7-0 at the moment. They will be playing at Arkansas. They'll be playing Cal there at home. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, I can't look at odds right now. Can't do 2 days ahead. I would assume Louisville's going to be like 5.5, maybe even more favorites, just the way they've been playing. But at Arkansas, I think Arkansas has done progressively better since their early losses. I think Arkansas's backcourt gets it done in this game. I think if you're able to stop Mikael Brown Jr., which I think it's very easy to do, Louisville is just a run and gun team. If they're missing their shots, they're not a fun team to watch. I would have to go Arkansas in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to pick Arkansas too, but Calipari, I don't know. I think this is a game that he ends up choking, so I'm gonna roll with Louisville.
I think this would be one of the better games. I hope it
Could
is.
be, could
Hope it
be.
is. A sneaky game to watch out for is Clemson playing Alabama. That is also
Yeah.
going to be going on. Clemson is always a sneaky ACC squad to watch. Always has a good squad for some reason. They always make
Yep.
march and always end up beating some they shouldn't. So
Yep.
they are 7-1. Bama is 5-2 now. Obviously, in this game, I'm picking Bama. I still think Bama wins this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson comes out and shocks the world.
Yep. This has been I think this has been maybe like a 4 year thing here of Bama and Clemson playing each other.
Mm.
Clemson, of course, they don't have the guys that they've had before, so I think Clemson is down this year. I'm always going to roll with the Tide, but Alabama's got to figure out how to rebound the basketball on the
Yeah.
guard level. Got to rebound the ball on defense big time here. So I could easily see Clemson winning this game if they're just more physical on the glass. I think they win the game, but see what Phylon has.
Yep. I think it's Bama's kryptonite. It's just physicality. I think you just
I would
whoever wants it more.
I would agree. I would agree.
So
Physicality, especially from the guard standpoint on defensive rebounding.
yeah, I like Bama though. Fun to watch. Another one since we did shout out Vanderbilt, I am going to shout out their game. They're going to be playing SMU. So I know SMU doesn't have the greatest squad this year, but they are 8-0. So they're both going to be 8-0 coming into this game. Obviously, I'm picking Vanderbilt. We're high on Vanderbilt this year, but that will be a good, fun game to watch. I'm interested to see what the odds are when those come out. Moving on, and then there are no games Thursday, so that wraps up the upcoming games for the week until next podcast. Yes, sir. What do you want?
NC State, Auburn.
I'm not. I did looked at that game. I didn't really want to talk about it, but we can if you want to. NC State's got a. They're supposed to have a good ball club. Deron Williams or whatever his name is, the transfer from wherever, supposed to be one of the better transfers in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a good start to the year. I think the NC State squad's got a great backcourt. I think they're all transfers coming in. They're fun to watch when they get hot, but I think Auburn's been playing great ball right now. I do think Auburn just comes out and wins probably by 10, 11, probably 10 margin.
You think
So,
they give them the old slacking?
yeah, I think Auburn is catching fire at a good time. Obviously, it's very early in the season, but I think they got their 2 losses out of the way. I think they just go up from here. So, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me. It's also at Auburn too. That's why I don't really have high hopes for NC State here, but
Will
you
Wade's a
never
good
know.
coach. He's a good
Yeah,
coach,
he
but
is a good coach. So,
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll with the barn on this one. We're gonna go with Little Bro. They'll get the win here.
yeah, I respect it. Always going against me kind of hurts my feelings, but
I know ball.
I know ball. It's true. I know more football. But yeah, that wraps up college basketball for until next podcast. So, got some great games going on. Excited to watch.
Do. So that's we got football done. We got basketball done. Shep, do you have a quote of the week?
Not at the moment, but I can in a few seconds.
You're good. I will. We're gonna go over our scripture of the show, our Bible verse of the show. Let me get it out here. All right, so we are in Romans here. This is Romans 12:19. Never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. That's what we got for this one. We'll be back with that Thursday or Friday.
Good quote. I like that quote. It's a good quote. They're good Bible verse. Sorry. And the quote of the day is, I wake up and piss excellence. Shout out Ricky Bobby.
Oh, that's a good oh, that's a good one. Okay. That's what we got here. Recap. Subscribe, please. I don't know. I think we're at 23, maybe 23 subscribers. So subscribe to the show, please. Follow the Spotify. Like, share the show. Comment.
Please comment.
If you guys have any questions, concerns, any feedback, positive, negative, let us know. We're pretty laid back. So other than that, Shep, you want to send us off here?
Tell the boys you love them.
All righty. We'll see you guys.